You know that feeling when you're trying to sell your stuff online and everybody that turns up is either a pain in the ass to work with or they're out just trying to get free stuff? Well, I did that when I started out with my business. And it fucking sucked. It was a lot of work for nothing. And I found out what my problem really was. So when I first started my business, I tried to work with everybody because the logic I had in my head was the more people I can get to my business, the more money I'm going to make, right? Well, I see the logic working. I see the logic behind it, but that's not how it works. This is a business. That was my business when I first started out. I wanted to help creators make more money. So that's a very broad and big market. So I was trying to get every creator out there to me. And I couldn't serve everybody because people have very specific problems they want to solve. And they're going to find the person who actually knows how to solve their problem. So when I first got my first client, it was after I changed how I think about my business. Instead of thinking about who else can I attract to my business, I started to think, how many people can I actually repel from my business? So I started to repel as many people as I could, so I knew that the people who came to me were a right fit for me, or there was a higher chance of them being a right fit for me. And that's how I got my first client. I narrowed who I wanted to work with a lot and what I offered down a lot. So now I wanted to work with creators who wanted to create a business around their interest. A lot more specific than before. So I'm starting to repel a lot of more people. So I knew I wouldn't want to work with people who are a freebie seeker, who are going after virality, because I'm trying to create a business and I'm trying to help others create a business around their interest. So instead of attracting everybody, I started to attract a very select few people. And that's how I got my first client. So how do you position yourself so you attract the people who are fun to work with and who actually have the money to pay for your service? Instead of thinking about who you want to attract, you're trying to think of who you don't want to attract with your content. And a very, very simple measure and way to do that is by the build, measure, learn. So let's focus on the build phase. So whatever it is you're trying to build here, content, landing page, offer, whatever it is, you need to know who it is you're trying to attract and who you're trying to repel. So it's the 4 P's: person, problem, proof of budget, pain of inaction. Those are the 4 P's you need to be crystal clear on when you're building something, content, landing page, whatever it is. So for person, the one specific person you can help best. I don't want you to try to target a whole market here. I want you to actually sit down and figure out who is that person, what does that person look like, what is the problem they're running into, and that's the next part here. What is the one urgent problem they're having that you can solve? It could be something like, hey, I'm not making money from my content, or I'm wasting my time trying to chase down clients who actually want to work with me, or my lead flow is some bullshit. It has to be a specific problem, an urgent problem. You can't just talk in like a problem that is semi-sucks for him. It has to be an urgent problem. That way it's a lot more enticing for him to actually solve that problem. So proof of budget. Have they bought something similar before? Because the people you're targeting here is not people who are broke, who don't have the money to actually go out and buy what you're selling. You have to make sure that whatever it is you're selling, that they already have bought something similar in the similar price range. Pain of inaction. If they don't solve this problem, what's going to happen? It could be, for example, if they don't have enough revenue within their business, they're going to suffer a lot because they can't attend their family's birthday, they can't go on a vacation because they have to spend all the time within their business to try and get more revenue because you need money to live. So now we come to the measure. How do you actually measure what the content or the landing page, whatever it is actually bringing in the right people you want to work with? Well, you can use the CHAMP score. So let's say you have gotten a lead that you want to talk with to see if they're actually a right fit for your offer or whatever it is. You go on the phone with them and you ask if their challenge is the one you're actually solving within your business. It doesn't have to be 100% exactly the right pain you're solving. It could be like 85% of within the same problem. So that's the first score. Is the challenge what you solve. Depending on what business you're running, you might talk to a representative of a business. That could be, for example, DA, that's authority. Is this the right person to make the call whether to buy from you or not? If you're in the business like I am, where I'm trying to help founders and solopreneurs, you're most likely going to talk to the person of authority. But if you're talking to a representative, you want to make sure that you actually at least can get a hold in the person of authority who makes the call whether to buy from you or not. Money. Do they have the money, and are they willing to spend it on solving their problem? If that's a hard no, then it's not a right fit for you. Priority. Is this a priority? Is it a now priority or is it a tomorrow priority? If it's a tomorrow priority, you attracted the wrong lead. So now we have all of the measure here. So let's take them one at a time. The challenge of what you solve, like, do they have the problem that you're actually solving? If that's a no, it might be your content that's attracting the wrong people here, and the problems you're solving within your content is not the one that they actually have. And authority is simply if you're making it clear within your content that this is maybe for founders and it's for solopreneurs. So if you're attracting people who don't have the money to buy from you and don't have the money to solve that problem, your content or your landing page, whatever it is, might signal something that is not of a level investment for the people watching it. Priority. Is this a priority? If you are getting people where it's not an urgent problem, you're not clarifying or you're targeting the wrong level of awareness within your market. You're simply not making it clear enough what the cost of inaction is for the people you're trying to attract. So, learn. I'm going to use a different green just for the fun of it. So, learn is where you take everything, the data you gathered from your build to your measure, and see what you learn from it. Like, if you're attracting shit leads that doesn't want to work with you, doesn't have the money to buy your product, then here is the way you're going to use that data to test out the next iteration of your product. You're going to make a push list. And what is a push list? A push list is phrases and words you can use within your content to actively push away the people you don't want to work with. If you're attracting people who want free shit from you, you're going to say the opposite within your content, and preferably in the start of your content. For example, you're going to say something like clients. Something that says that what you're putting out here is at a cost. It's not just something free they can get from you. So you're making it very clear that what you're doing is at a cost. For example, with me, it was also I attracted people who want to go viral. And I don't work with people who want to go viral, so I'm focused on words like trust. So just to make it clear, this is a very simplistic approach to this. Freebie seekers, you can find a lot more words that would repel freebie seekers, but I'm just here to point out that what you're attracting, you're going to say the opposite of that within your content to repel the people you have been attracting so far. So the next one is the language, and we're going to divide it into two categories again, the misfits and the fit. So what language are the people who you talk to, or the comments you got in your video, or whatever it is? What did they specifically say? And what did the ones that was a right fit for you say? So you're going to note down both of them. It could, for example, be that if some of your content attracted growth seekers, like someone who wants to grow their channel and just go viral, and that's not a person you want to work with, you're going to either ask them what attracted them and what made them jump on the call, or you're going to look through your content, your landing page, your offer, and see if there's anything in there that could attract a person like that. On the other hand, if you got a very good fit, you're going to do the exact opposite. Like, what attracted them? Oh, it's because you said this about getting clients from your videos. Oh, okay. Then you're going to use that more. So you're going to double down on what's working, and you're going to also double down on what's not working, but in the opposite direction. So the problem, we're going to see if the people you attracted with your content landing page, if they have the problem you're actually solving. It doesn't have to be like 100%, as I said before, but it has to be very close to the problem you're solving. Like, if it's too far away, they're not a good fit, and you need to do some detective work to see why it is that that person got attracted to you. And again, if you're finding the person with the right fit, a good lead, then you're going to, again, to do some detective work to figure out what it is exactly they... Oh my god, a fucking bird just shat on the fucking table. Where was I? Problem. Yeah, you're going to see if the problem you solve is also the problem that the people you attracted is having, or they are having. So that's the very simple way to get better leads and better clients for your business, so you don't have to deal with all the bullshit of people who actually don't want to buy from you anyway. So you're building something. Whatever it is you're building, you have to put down something you want to measure. I'm just giving you some examples here on how to do that. When you measure that, you're going to see what can I learn from this. If it were that you are attracting all bad leads, then you have a lot of work to do.